Welcome back to Evalasting Peace, where we discuss all things eternal love and eternal grief when related to infertility, prenatal diagnosis, pregnancy, baby loss, and the afterlife. So I'm the mother of Eva, and we are going to keep with the topic of the last couple of videos I've recorded recently, when things don't go according to plan. And we are going to look at maternal age, advanced maternal age, geriatric pregnancy, these terms that the medical community likes to throw around that I don't really care for. My great-grandmother, who Eva is named after, had 13 children and was having babies into her 40s. My grandmother, Bertha Eva, was as well. She had my Uncle Darren at 42. So this is not new, even though it seems to be a hot topic of women having children later in life. It might be more planned nowadays, as there are women with careers and waiting until later to find a spouse or a significant other. But women can have babies at all different ages, and our bodies are designed for this. So I had my own ideas about it, though, to begin with. My dad was 38 when he had me. Mom was 32. But this was his second marriage. So I always grew up knowing that my dad was a little older. He would tell me this, that I'm of a different generation than your friends' parents. And I guess I didn't want to have a child late in life like him. Even though I had a wonderful childhood. And now I can reflect on all the reasons why that's a benefit to a child. But I just had it in my mind I was going to start having children in my 20s. And I did, just barely. So, like I said, my husband Joe and I got married when I was 25. He was 26. And at the time I was getting my history sociology degree. I was working full-time as a historian and wasn't ready to bring a child into that hectic life yet. So when I graduated in 2008, we thought we would still wait another year, being the ever planner that I am, just to take a break from the chaos that was going to school and working full-time. And we started trying in 2009. I got pregnant within a couple months, found out on our 4th wedding anniversary that we were expecting our son Max, who is an absolute joy and blessing and such a gift. We were naive at that time and figured, most babies just come that easily. And so I was 29 and I turned 30 2 months later. But I snuck into that 20 window when I had my first child. And it wasn't until 2014 we started trying for a sibling for Max. After he was born, I went back to work 4 months later. I was a working mom for the first time, and I just started struggling with all these undiagnosable health complications. Now I can recognize it was the stress of being a working mom. It was the toll that pregnancy can take on your body. My hormones were out of whack. But I couldn't find a doctor who could really, pinpoint exactly what was going on with me. So I went to numerous doctors, took all these supplements, did all these things, and finally just focused on my diet and really started to get into yoga. And in fact, when we started trying for a second child, I had just started a yoga teacher training. So that really helped the nervous system. And I thought, what a beautiful thing that would be to get pregnant while on this nurturing journey that I was taking off on. So we didn't get pregnant until 2015. And by that time, I was that dreaded age of 35. They start monitoring you a bit more at 35. There's more talk of genetic complications after that age, which still wasn't on my radar as much as it is now that I have carried to term a child with genetic issues. which was not related to age. But let me tell you, when she was first diagnosed, I questioned that. So here I was pregnant at 35 and accepting that, okay, this is where we're at. And that baby only lasted for 6 weeks. I had a miscarriage. Totally rocked our world, devastated me. My first huge wave of grief. And here were the months ticking on by, and I wasn't getting any younger. This was not my plan to be having a baby in my later 30s. I was struggling with the fact that I had wished we had tried sooner. And it took, almost 2 years before we got pregnant with our next child, Eva. So we found out in March 2017 that I was carrying Eva, which was so exciting after trying for nearly 3 years to conceive her. And I was 36 when I found out about her. I was 37 when she was born in October 2017. And Eva lived for 22 days. So she died in November of that year. And here we were without a living sibling for our child still. And now we were 37 and 38 years old. We really paused at that time and did a lot of discussion on if we should keep trying. Would this be a good thing to keep walking Max through? What if we lost another child? The heartbreak that would bring him, weighing the benefits and the possibilities, if it was really worth continuing on trying for a sibling for Max, who he himself desperately wanted a brother or sister. And miraculously, and I'll of course touch on this in another video, we got pregnant with Leo with ease in 2019. We found out the day before Max's 9th birthday that we were carrying Leo. And now I was 38, approaching 39, and I was going to be older than my father was when Leo was born. I was 39 and a half when he arrived on New Year's Eve 2019. So I've had to do some acceptance and sitting with that, and it is what it is. I'm now 41, and I think any of us who are in our 40s can attest to the fact that you get here and you think, this is what midlife is? Like, I feel good. I don't feel what, when you're young, you think 40 is supposed to feel like. And I can think of all the benefits that I myself experienced as the child of an older father, and now Leo will get to experience as the child of older parents. My husband maybe struggles with it a little bit. His parents were younger when they had him, and Leo is a firecracker. He's like a little ping pong ball. So Joe a lot of times will say, oh my goodness, it's so exhausting to be in your 40s with this kid. And I say to him, I think if I was 22, it would still be exhausting to be the mother of Leo. It just is what it is. And I love the fact that he's going to keep us young through the years as we raise him. And I'm going to be in tune with music and all the things that young people are into. And yeah, he's just going to keep us present with youth as we age, and that's a beautiful gift. I just also really value the fact that we are settled, we're established. Here we have this 25-year relationship. We know each other better than anyone else does, and we can really offer that love and comfortableness of parents that are really settled in who they are and who they are together. We own a home. We have more wisdom than we would have had in our early 20s to share, which is something I always valued in my father. He has been the person I would turn to for wisdom and guidance and knowledge and inspiration and come to with the hard stuff. And my mother too, but my dad just was that person for me, so I want to be that person for my children as well. And this, of course, doesn't downplay anyone who's a younger parent. I think that there's just benefits to each stage of life, parenthood. And this is where we are. We are now in our 40s raising a toddler. And, you just have to work on acceptance and not look back and regret anything and just focus on where you are right now. So we are here embracing life with Leo in our 40s, and it's a gift. And walking through, how long was it? Almost 5.5 years of trying to conceive before we get this little baby boy, gives you a whole new perspective on life, on parenthood, on joy and gratitude. And I just wouldn't have it any other way. It's our story. It's where we are. And yeah, I wanted it differently, but what a gift to be here now, raising this baby in this time. So that's where we are with the idea of advanced maternal age. And I know plenty of other mothers and fathers who are having children later in life, and I can see these benefits with them as well. They're grounded in who they are. They've already done all the, playful stuff. Not that we shouldn't continue to be playful, but we know who we are, where we're going. I still want to learn and grow, but I already have learned a lot and grown a lot. And I can see with a 10-year age gap of my children how more confident I am in myself than I was at 29 compared to 39 with the third child, second living. So, yeah. Leave any comments below, any thoughts, feel free to email me. You can find me on Instagram at evalastingpeace. That's where I discuss more of the signs and messages and communication I have with Eva. I talk more about raising her siblings on my personal page on Instagram, which is at Lori, Loria Larson. So come find me there. Feel free to email. That information is on my YouTube channel here. And just share with me your thoughts on having a child later in life and the gifts that it brings. Share below in the comments so others can see too. Peace.